Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of The Lisa Show. Today we are going to be making something really, I honestly was so obsessed with this when I went to Tokyo because I had it for the first time. We'll be making a cold udon with a sesame chicken and a dipping sauce. I'm just gonna turn on my fire. The water's just coming to a boil. Now, this is a bit of a fusion recipe. The cold udon bit is quite traditional, but we are doing it with a sesame chicken, so that's kind of not traditional Japanese, I think, because it is shredded chicken. So we're just gonna be starting with our chicken breast. Here, I've got a beautiful chicken breast that I just sliced up. I recommend slicing it up before putting it into boil because it's just going to cook a lot faster and more evenly. If not, you will have it very overcooked on the outside and raw on the inside. So before I'm going to dump that in, I am just going to put in some mirin. And mirin is some Japanese rice wine, and that's just going to give that a bit of flavor. Just a splash. I would say maybe about 2 tablespoons worth. Just for flavor, and you are going to put in just a pinch of salt. Always season, guys, always season. Now I'm just gonna give that a stir, and the water's boiling, so I am gonna put in my chicken breast. In we go. And we are just boiling this until it is just about cooked. And then we're gonna shred them and put in some lovely sauce. Once your water comes to a big boil, you can feel free to lower the heat and let your little chickens just soak in that simmer. Simmer, simmer, simmer. This is how we get our chicken breast to not be overcooked. I honestly hate chicken breast because it's so hard, but I realize that when you cook it well and you get a soft, like succulent texture, it's actually really nice. So that's the trick. Cook it on a low simmering heat. This should take about, I would say, 5 minutes because we cut it in pieces, so that shortens the cooking time. Honestly, I just love this dish because it is really nice to eat on a hot day, and it's almost always hot here in Singapore. Can't complain. We don't have hail or crazy hurricanes, so I'm just still gonna thank God for that. But honestly, some days it's so hot and you want something like slurpy, but it might be too hot for a soup udon, so you can opt for the cold summer version, which is just so good, so good. You're gonna see later. So I think our chicken's done, and you're just gonna make sure you can cut it through to check, but it should be pretty much all white. You don't want any pink translucent spots. Not for chicken, okay? We gotta cook chicken all the way through. So if you've got some bigger pieces, you can feel free to leave that in just for about half a minute to a minute longer to cook through. Okay, so just gonna turn off the fire and put that aside. And now what we have are our chicken breast pieces. So you are going to be taking 2 forks and we're going to be shredding this up. So what you're going to do is just pull the meat apart gently and just roughly shred it. It doesn't have to be perfect, you just want it to be in pieces. Okay, so you're just gonna keep doing that until you get something like that. It doesn't have to be, I personally don't like to shred my chicken too shredded because I find that it looks gross. So we're gonna keep it quite big pieces, and then we are gonna be taking our sesame oil. Oh, thank you. My little kitchen hand is here. So you would take about 4 teaspoons of sesame oil. You can get the Chinese sesame oil. I personally love the Korean ones. They're just next level. Okay. So just gonna be taking 4 teaspoons of this. Just douse that over evenly. And then we taking a pinch of salt. I think this is about a teaspoon, but honestly just go with your taste. If you like it bland, then put less. If you like it more tasty, then put more. And that's the beauty of cooking, guys. Just do what you like, okay? So we're just gonna season that. And then we're just going to mix that in. Very, very simple. I mean, this is like as simple as it gets, but honestly, sesame oil and salt is the basic seasoning, honestly. It's so good. Okay, just gonna mix that thoroughly in. And then we're gonna set it aside. Super easy. And this is gonna be the topping for our udon. Put that aside, and you're gonna use that remaining water, just turn it on, and we're gonna cook our noodles. So obviously that the water's not enough, so I'm gonna add a bit more. Okay, and then just bring that to a boil, and we will cook our noodles. I'm just gonna try that chicken. Yummy. So excited to eat. I love to cook, but I love to eat even more, so I am so excited. Now I'm just gonna let that boil, okay? Today, the noodles we're gonna be using are I think they're known as Zaru udon. Honestly, I don't even know the name of these udons. There are just so many types of udons out there. But the ones that you normally see are the fat ones. They sell it, usually it's already half cooked when they sell it in the grocery store. But these ones are dry, as you can tell. They're dried and they are flat. Now, these are commonly used, as you can tell from the picture, it's a dipping udon kind of noodle. So we're gonna be using these. It's got a lovely bite to it, super slurpy. I just love it. So my last recipe, I actually used an udon variation similar to this, but it was a bit fatter, I would say. And I used that in a soup, and that was so good as well. You could use this, you could use somen, if you guys know what that is. It's like ramen, but I don't know why they call it somen. I think it's like a soba ramen. No, actually no, don't quote me on that. But it's basically like this, but round. The noodles are round. Okay, so we're just gonna pop a pack of this into the water that is now boiling. So just take the whole pack. Whoa. Put it right in. And fan it out, fan it out. And these noodles honestly cook super fast, so you gotta keep your eye on them. And you always have to keep stirring them. They do clump up super easily, so I would say keep moving them around, keep moving them around. Just make sure they don't stick, because you don't want that clumpy mess. Once they cook and they stick, you are never pulling them apart, okay? And sometimes the problem is that they stick and they become so thick that the inside doesn't cook properly, so you get hard noodles, and you don't want that. So we're just gonna let that boil. Feel free to just grab a chopstick and taste. I always like to taste my noodles because I've got a huge pet peeve of overcooking my noodles. I hate it. It's the worst. Okay, wait, so you can tell they're not quite done yet. I'm just gonna leave that in. You can see the noodles are really absorbing all that liquid. You want the noodles to have a bit of a bite to it. Especially so for cold summer udon. You really don't want soggy noodles, like dipping soggy noodles in sauce. It's just not a good idea. So these are almost done. Just like, let's say 10 seconds more, and they are good to go. I'm just gonna turn off the fire right now and just leave that, let it cook in the residual heat. I'm gonna move that aside. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna take a bowl of water. So I've got a bowl of cold water with ice, as you can see. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the udon out of the hot water, and we're gonna put it into this ice bowl so that we get the best texture we could possibly get. straight into that ice bath. Okay, and now we've got our noodles in the ice bath. We're just gonna let that soak for a bit. Quickly stop the cooking and keep the noodles springy, bouncy, which is the texture that we want. Now we're gonna move this aside. And now we're gonna be making our dipping sauce. I've got here about 120 milliliters of hot water. Okay, and what we're gonna do is, the base of this broth is dashi, which is a bonito fish flake stock, and that really gives that umami taste in that broth. So these 2 packets are 8 grams. If I'm not wrong, most of them come in like a 10-gram little packet, so just use that. But mine came in 8 grams, so just pour that powder right in. And we need the water to be hot because these little flavor granules need hot water to dissolve. And then you're just gonna take your spoon and just stir that in and let the dashi dissolve. Wow, you can really smell it. This really forms the base flavor for your stock. Okay, and then we'll be adding 4 tablespoons of soy. I am using the salt reduced one. So just 4 tablespoons of this. 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then we'll be adding mirin again. 1 tablespoon of mirin. And we're gonna be adding some rice vinegar, and this is what gives that you know when you eat sushi rice and you have that bit of sour taste, that's what gives that flavor. So it's really nice to have a bit of tang in this dipping sauce. We're taking 1 tablespoon of rice vinegar. And I've got here some sugar. This is 2 teaspoons of sugar. You can use white, you can use brown. We only have brown here, so I'm gonna be using the brown. Just gonna pop that all in. Okay. And mix that real good. Okay, and we're gonna be adding 1 teaspoon of quality sesame oil. In we go. Okay. And you're just gonna keep stirring that because especially the sugar is gonna take a while to dissolve. Just keep mixing that. Ah, it smells so good. Okay, take your bowl. I'm just gonna pour that broth in. Beautiful color. And the last thing we're gonna do to add in that kick of aromatic into the sauce, we're gonna be taking a knob of ginger and you're just gonna be grating that into the sauce. Then just use your spoon. Sometimes at the back of your grater you have some residual. Just use your spoon and scrape that. We don't want to waste any of that lovely ginger. And then just give it a good mix. It smells so good. Okay. Now lastly, we're going to be taking our zucchini or Japanese cucumber and spring onion for our garnish. So we got them right here. And we're just going to be slicing that cucumber. Ends, cut that in half, cut that in half lengthwise. Try and cut that in thirds. Okay. Just cut that into thin strips. Okay. And then you're gonna take a spring onion and you're just gonna chop that from the stem to the leaves. Okay, and then your cucumber select in slices and your spring onion for your garnish. And now we will plate. Just gonna take that, drain it nicely here.
Okay, go.
And we're gonna dig into our summer cold udon noodles. Wow. Look at that. Just gonna put that in the dipping sauce. And I like to eat right out of the dipping sauce bowl. Mmm. Mmm. What are cucumbers? Mmm. So refreshing. I'm gonna get my chicken. I'm gonna put this all in. Oh my. You can actually dump the sauce in if you want to, but it's meant to be a dipping udon because it's fancy, okay? Mmm. Mmm. So refreshing, just so filled with umami. It's a bit sour, a bit sweet, salty, with the sesame oil. Mmm. I just love this dish. It's so easy to make. How easy was that? Seriously. Mmm. Mmm. So good. Seriously, I don't stop eating right now. Mmm. Mmm. So I really hope you guys try this recipe out. Honestly, it is so easy. The only thing you're cooking is like the chicken breast and the noodles. And the noodles are instant. So really, there's nothing holding you back. Try it out. Cook it for your mom, your dog, your best friend, your boo. I don't know who you got, but cook it for them and I'm sure they'll love it. And if you do and you enjoyed this recipe, tag me on Instagram, which is right here. And don't forget to subscribe. Turn on the bell notification so you know when the next recipe is coming out. We'll see you guys next time. Bye!